that room booked for us tomorrow morning, have you, George?
Yes, that'll be all right.
Oh, well, I'll be up in. See you.
Cheerio, then.
Oh, sorry. You going, then? Yes, I want to get that circular drafted for the shop steward. You'll be at the committee meeting tomorrow, will you? Right, I'll see you then. Night, Gene. Good night.
Can you spare us a moment?
Look, I'm trying to get home, Sam.
It's about what we was discussing last week.
Now, look, I don't want anything to do with that, so shove off, will you?
But Harry, you're in danger.
Yeah, you're nuts. I'll see you at the works on Monday. Come.
Hey, you.
Something troubling you, friend?
Yeah, mate. You are.
Boom! 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 Boom!
It's not too good, is it?
It's disastrous. If the union doesn't get more income next year, we're either going to have to ditch legal aid or benevolence.
We're all on the Moscow Gold.
I'm being serious, Jack.
You don't think I'm nothing made up, do you?
Hi, George. Hi, Sam.
What is it, Stanley?
I've just come from the police. Warburton died of a heart attack. There seems no doubt it was caused by the beating up he received. And whoever it was used knuckle dusters.
That changes the complexion of it a bit.
Well, I don't know about that. They're not that difficult to buy, so the police tell me.
But that means it was premeditated, not just a punch-up.
Warburton was pretty unpopular with certain of his branch members.
Then why was he elected branch secretary?
Well, he had a following. On average, only 12% of the members of his branch turn up, even for secretary elections. That's how he got in.
Well, I knew Harry Warburton. He was a good lad.
I know, but he was against the strike motion they wanted. Some of them regarded him as a blackleg.
But that's no excuse for murder, because that's what this is, Stanley. Murder.
Yes, but they're holding a fresh election for secretary tonight. I shall make a point of being there.
They're not wasting much time, are they?
Well, the branch has got to go on functioning, isn't it?
Did the police say anything about the chances of finding out who hit him?
Yes, they did. Very little chance at all.
That's a nasty business.
Now, where were we?
Where we always are, the lack of union funds.
Any suggestions?
Yes, threepence a week on the dues.
What do you expect me to do? Wave a wand at annual conference?
Well, there's one argument you could put. But a fraction of the money spent on weekly lotteries and draws could be better spent on the union.
And tell them to give up their football pools as well.
I'm talking about fake lotteries, weekly swindles.
George, a motion like that will be laughed off the conference floor.
And not if we had proof that something they were paying money into every week was a fiddle. I'm telling you, Jack, if we don't get that extra threepence a week next year, the union's in Carey Street.
You don't have to convince me. How would you set about getting the proof?
By employing an outside agency to look into just one lottery.
Why bring in outsiders?
Because we're all overworked here already.
You can say that again. Well, I'll put it up to the General Purposes Committee.
Jack, couldn't you take the decision yourself, as General Secretary? If we do employ an outside agency, it should be strictly between us and them.
I don't like this cloak and dagger stuff within the union, George.
But there are times when it's necessary.
All right. But see that they handle the job discreetly.
Just along here.
You see, take this lottery, for instance. United Weekly Draw. Who runs it? Who gets the profits?
Oh, did your members ever ask these questions when people tried to sell the tickets?
No, it doesn't work like that. In a big works, people are always coming round with lists for donations, for charities, and this and that. And it's easier to part with a shilling than argue it out with the bloke who's selling you the ticket. Well, we've no objection to legitimate appeals. But lotteries, where you don't know who's running them, they're another matter.
Why are the promoters so interested in people working in industry?
That's where you get the greatest concentration of potential buyers, isn't it?
What about prizes?
Oh, somebody wins 100 quid every week, maybe a couple of £50 prizes. But that could still leave an enormous margin of profit.
Why don't you just tell your members not to buy these tickets?
Mr. Shoesmith, they tell us what to do, not us them. Before every step you take in a trade union, you have to win people over to an idea. Now, I want to win them over to the idea that these lotteries are a fraud, and their money could be better spent on threepence a week more to union funds.
And by proving the lotteries are rigged, you'll do the trick.
Yes. But I wanted it handled carefully. Oh, I've been to a couple of private detective agencies. They're full of ex-policemen. They stand out a mile. You don't look like that.
Well, all right. Have you any suggestions as to where we should start?
Oh, you might try our Northwest London number 3 branch. This will give you the names of the branch committee members and the address of the pub where they hold their meetings.
Oh, yes.
And the names of all the main factories in the branch area.
Right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Holden, I see you've crossed off the name of the branch secretary, Harry Walburn. Has he resigned or something?
No, he was beaten to death outside that pub last night.
Hello, I thought you were in Edinburgh.
Oh, the plane doesn't leave till 3. How was the lunch? Now, don't say you've never seen the kilt before.
It's just that I've never seen one on you.
How was Bob?
Oh, he's seeing some trade union.
Oh, what's their problem?
Oh, I don't know. He seemed to... They didn't want to discuss it on the telephone.
Trade union, eh? I'd like to be in on that. It's a pity I can't be.
Well, I should have thought that staying with a real Scotch lord would have been quite...
Laird, dear,
Scots
dear.
Laird would have been quite interesting enough. Or do you want all the toys to play with? What does he want you up there for anyway, apart from playing golf?
Well, he's got a very fine collection of early Scottish silver, and he wants some advice on how to keep it safe.
Listen, it really is time you went, you know.
Oh, yeah. Righto. Bye.
Oh, I hope that east wind in Edinburgh isn't blowing too hard.
Half a funny bit.
Lottery ticket, George?
Now, turn it
I'm
up.
down to the lucky numbers.
You may be, you may be.
Stan got in there.
Brindy.
Good lad.
Well, congratulations, Brian. You won the wife. You might be elected.
Yeah, I see little enough of it is. I was thinking of getting her to keep the branch record.
That's what they all say, mate. What's over a pint?
Lovely, yeah?
Go on, what's yours,
Oh, it's very good. Go on, George.
No, look, let me get it, mate.
No, it's all right. Anyway, you stand for General Secretary, you buy me drink, mate. It's corruption.
I'll have a pint.
2 pints, please, George.
2 pints?
Yeah.
We had a few queries, of course.
Did you?
I told them they should refer it back to branch level.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know they are. They never take your advice, do they?
Please. But it's gone up for joint consultation.
What do you mean, under Rule 8?
Or because it was a substantive motion with a less than 2/3 majority.
And then made it a reference back?
Or break clause 11, subsection 17.
Thank you.
It's a very good idea,
You
Brian.
see, you could have brought that in. That's been less problems all
You got my
round.
pint there, George?
Yes, coming up.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry, friend. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, allow me. Oh, it's all right, mate. Don't worry about it.
Let me buy you another drink.
No. It's all right. These darn things, they fill them too near the brim.
Wouldn't I be around if they didn't?
Yeah, I bet they would.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I really am very sorry about that.
Forget it.
No, but it's been a miss.
You live round here, do you?
Yeah, just moved in, got some digs.
What's the attraction of this part?
Ah, lots of work, you know, plenty of factories round here.
Oh, yeah, dozens of them, but, are you immigrant to Britain or something? I mean, you know, it seems funny a bloke finding digs around here to get a job.
Why? Got to work somewhere.
Well, you see, most of the blokes around here, they've either moved out from central London because they've got families and they want a house with a garden, or they just live here, you know, always have done.
Right, Ted.
Well,
I'll see you.
see, I've been in a bit of trouble. It's a question of starting all over again, you see.
Oh, I see. Yes, I do see. Long time away?
Couple of years, first offender.
You don't want to mention that around, you know, not once you get in somewhere. I mean, anything missing from the lockers and bang, out you go. Men won't stand it.
No, I'll give it to myself.
Yeah. The best story is, you've been to Aussie land and couldn't stand all that sunshine.
Yeah.
Well, got to get up in the morning. See you around.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Want to see you.
Where?
Usual place, Queen's Road. It's a bit late, isn't it?
I've got the car waiting, Sam.
All right, Mr. Doddy, I know the rules.
Glenn, that's it. Is there any news locally about what happened to Harry Warburton?
Nah, somebody clobbered him. Your guess is as good as mine.
It's a nasty business, mate. Still, I suppose the police will find somebody.
Yeah. Here, before you go, what was the name of that book you were going to recommend?
Oh, you got a piece of paper there?
Yeah.
Yes, it's called, let me see now, it's Winthrop's Trade Union Structure and Negotiation. There's some good reading there, Brian. I recommend it to all branch secretaries.
See, structure.
Here, can you see what you're writing on, mate?
What? Blimey, me boating paper.
Now, look, it's very nice, I must say. I mean, I don't mind losing boats out of conviction, but not because blokes use the paper to ride home on.
Yeah, but maybe you weren't going to get my boat anyway, Stanley.
Yeah, there's always that possibility, isn't there, Brian, eh?
You'd better make a block of this. We'll be needing a lot of copies. Remember, I want identical paper.
I've got Sam Little.
Oh, yeah, one of the traveling salesmen. Bring him in. You tell him anything?
No.
Mr. Little?
Yeah?
You thought you were coming here to see Mr. Thompson?
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid Mr. Thompson isn't with us anymore. I'm your new boss. My name's Vic McMasters. I'm running the United Weekly Draw now.
I see. Well, glad to meet you.
I'm glad to meet you, too, Sam. I paid Mr. Thompson a lot of money for this business. The machinery and the stock, and also the goodwill. You're part of that goodwill.
Thanks.
Do you know South Shields?
Where?
South Shields, it's up north. I want you to go there.
Look, I always operate in northwest London. You're sure you're not thinking of someone else?
I think I got the right man. Sam Little, 1942. 2 years in prison for petty larceny. 1954, 18 months for receiving a stolen car. 1956, 3 years for fraudulent conversion. That is your record, isn't it?
You know everything, don't you?
I also know you got away with people. You can con them out of anything. That's why you've been so successful in the past. Well, I can use a man like you in this organization. First, I want you to go up to South Shields. Later, you'll be traveling all over England. Can you drive?
Yeah, but, well, I don't own a car.
We'll take care of that. In future, you'll be paid more.
I suppose that could make it more interesting. Here, was it you behind the Harry Warburton business? Well, that had nothing to do with the lottery, had it?
Let's just say that Harry Warburton wouldn't cooperate. I don't like people who stand in the way of progress. This new branch secretary. What's his name?
Winters, Brian Winters.
Brian Winters.
Hmm?
Is he married?
Yeah.
Good. That makes him more vulnerable. You'll be leaving the northwest London area. Can you recommend someone to take your place?
Well, I'll have to think about that, won't I?
Come on, I haven't got all night.
Well, how about a bloke who's been in prison for a couple of years? Just got out.
Good. Line him up.
Is this a complete picture of the places where these lottery tickets are sold?
Oh, good heavens, no. But after he saw you yesterday, Mr. Holding had to go to some conference or other. Actually, it was the Inter-District Monthly Joint Consultative Delegate meeting. Anyway, the members come from all over the country. And he asked them if they'd ever seen these United Weekly Draw lottery tickets on sale, and if so, where. And that is the result. Of course, they may be sold in lots of other places that we don't know about yet.
Does it strike you as odd, the way the points of sale are spread all over the country?
No, it's no other than a chain store. I mean, I thought it was a question of finding out where there are factories and large concentrations of people.
Yes, but in London's industrial belt alone, there are hundreds of factories with millions of people working in them, and yet only 2 fags. Then a big jump to Luton, then Nottingham, and then nothing at all in between, all the way to Newcastle on Tyne.
Yes, I see what you mean.
Now, could you find out whether any other union, apart from our client, is plagued with these United Weekly Draw lottery tickets?
Oh, I've already checked on that. But the strange thing is that the other unions only seem to know about the UWD in factories where our union is also represented.
What does that tell us?
Well, we don't have vertical trades unionism in this country, do we?
We don't what?
Yes, well, it's one of Mr. Holding's terms, actually. But what I mean to say is this. In any one factory, you can have lots of different people belonging to lots of different trades unions. But only in factories where our union is found do you also find United Weekly Draw lottery tickets on sale. Or that's what we found out so far.
It may be significant, but we'd better check a little more deeply into it. Anyway, you can find out something else for me meanwhile.
Oh, what's that?
What time they serve dinner at Pensonville Prison?
Now, who do I know?
Yeah, sure. Good. See if you can keep them out until, you better make it next Thursday. Yeah, thanks for calling. That's Hawick in the bag.
Hoik. You don't think we're straining the organisation just a little, do you? After all, it's the 6th lightning strike this week.
What does an army do before it goes to war? It conducts maneuvers. I want to be quite sure when I call a strike. I get a quick response from anywhere on this map.
Evening, Sylvia. I got the proofs.
Oh, good. Let's see 'em. Say, he's done a good job. They're identical. Well, with these, we've been running a penny anti-lottery. But with 100,000 copies of this, with 100,000 X's marked in the right square, we'll take over our first British trade union.
Has changed its hue. Its red is mixed with white and blue.
You're going to be late for your meeting.
It's all worked out. 6 more minutes on this, and I'm off. Good as I like that way. Ta.
Well, I'm going over to Mary's later on.
Yeah?
You want to come over after you finish?
No, I'll be late tonight, love. I want to get straight home. Would you mind?
Bob Smith.
Who?
I hope I've not called it a bad time.
Oh, that's all right. Depends what you want.
Well,
I'll go out in a couple of minutes. Sit yourself down.
Ta.
Well, what can I do you for?
Well, it's about joining the union, you see. I've just got a job at the works.
Oh, your shop steward could I handle that for you?
Yeah, I thought I'd like to see what my branch secretary looked like.
There's a turn out for the books. Been doing this sort of work before, have you?
Yeah, some years ago, though.
Uh-huh. What, without being a member of the union?
Oh, no, I lapsed, you see.
Uh-huh. Now you're coming back in the industry.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, pardon me being nosy.
So I've been to Australia, you see.
Oh, have you? Didn't make a go of it out there, eh?
That's right.
Hard lines. Yeah, Jean, you know where those application forms are? Don't know what I'd do without it.
Oh, Ta. We've got elections coming up, haven't you, quite soon?
Yeah, General Secretary and the National Executive, but you have to be in the union 6 months before you can vote on those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've only just become branch secretary, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the previous secretary died. You must have heard about it.
Yes, I know. A lot of talk about it at the works. Of course, being new here, I don't know the issues at stake.
Well, there aren't any.
Then why was he killed?
Who said anybody killed him?
I'm sorry, it's just the gossip going round the works, that's all.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't listen to too much gossip if I were you. Not until you've been here a while and know who's who.
Ah. No, perhaps you're right. OK, Ta, well, thanks for this, and thanks for seeing me.
Ah, any time, drop in.
Thanks. It's OK, I'll see myself out.
Wonder what he really wanted.
What do you mean?
Well, he was snooping. Now, why should he be interested in us?
Well, if that's the best we can say on finances, I can't see this report getting loud or prolonged clauses at conference. Have you read it?
Yes, George showed it to me.
I know no one's going to like it, but it's the naked truth.
All right, you've made your point. Troubles a week more from the members, and the General Secretary can take his holidays at Monte Carlo.
It would just make us break even.
OK, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of persuading. Oh, any news of your lotteries yet? My secretary's opened his file on them, and all we've got up to now is the name and address of this agency, Souter and Shoesmith.
Yeah, I'm on my way to see them now. They phoned me just before I left the office.
Oh, let me know of any progress.
I will.
This is about lotteries. Are we planning to run one, then?
As if we didn't have enough troubles. No. No, George is planning to stop all the people running them. What was it you wanted to see me about?
Well, to discuss the organisation report for conference.
Oh, can we go into that tomorrow morning? I've got to be at the Standing Orders Committee in 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Say 10:30?
Fine, I'll come to your office. Telephone doesn't ring so much there.
This is a map of the places shown on your report to us.
There's a couple more I've heard about since then. Workington and Coventry.
Really? We've been making some inquiries through other unions, Mr. Holding, and it appears that the only union plagued with United Weekly Draw lottery tickets is yours.
What are you getting at?
Can you think of any reason why anyone should want to set up an organisation, no matter what its supposed purpose, which exactly parallels the existence of some other organisation?
Well, I can think of all sorts of reasons, most of them political.
Yes, this may be the reason for this. We don't know yet, but there's another significant fact. Look, you probably know this, the Trade Association yearbook.
Well, I haven't seen this year's edition yet.
Now, that's an advance copy. Listed here are all the wildcat strikes, the cup of tea strikes over the last 12 months. The ones affecting your union have all taken place in the branches on that map.
Well, this yearbook, it's bound to make a song and dance about any instances of industrial irresponsibility.
Only where there are flags on the map, Mr. Holding, and those are centres where we know that these lottery tickets are being sold.
It's all right, Mr. Shoesmith, I got your point the first time. I was just trying to think what that coincidence could imply. And I'd say it stinks of something going on.
Oh, hello. How's Treeks?
Oh, hello.
You got settled in now?
Yes, fine. Starting at the works next week.
Good, good.
Yeah, fine.
Which shop?
Oh, they didn't say. Half a mile, please.
No. Drinks on me this time.
Oh, tar. Very kind of you.
And try something stronger, eh?
Yeah.
2 whiskies.
Oh, thanks.
All right?
Yeah.
And try one of these.
Oh, tar.
Oh, you got to get used to gracious living again. Bit stronger than regulation roll-ups, eh?
Fine.
Let's sit over there, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, God. Have one on me.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
2 years, wasn't it?
Oh, 1 year and 11 months, actually.
Uh-huh. All at the same place?
First 2 weeks, Brixton.
Oh, yeah, of course, for sorting out. Then what? Open or closed?
Pentonville.
Bad, very bad. But, you look like open prison material to me.
Oh, yeah, but it was robbery with, you see.
Oh. Used a shooter?
Ah, Kosh.
Sensible, very sensible. Pentonville, you say?
Yeah.
Which block?
What's that to you?
Oh, fellow's been inside. I'd like to give him a leg up, hadn't I? If you were interested, I could put you onto a good thing.
You know the bogies will be watching me.
Everyone the first time they're out thinks that. Police are too busy with parked cars. It's like an obsession with them.
Maybe, but it's not all motorists, you know, sleeping 3 to a cell in B block.
Well, let me put it this way. I sell these. Now, there's nothing more innocent than selling a few lottery tickets, is there?
You think I might be able to get rid of a few for you?
With your credentials, I've got a bigger job lined up for you. If you're interested, that is.
Let's say I'm interested.
I'm the agent for this area. Now, I've got collectors lined up in every shop in the works. Well, naturally, I have to work them myself to keep tabs on them all. But that means I'm hard at it from morning till night. But within 5 years, I hope to retire, which is more than I can say for most.
Yeah, well, where do I fit into all this?
This lottery setup's expanding. Now, I've got to move to another district up north. So you might be able to take over from me here. Subject to references, that is.
What sort of references?
Next visiting day at the Ville, I'll go and see an old pal of mine. Which reminds me, I don't know your moniker yet.
Robert Smith.
Yes. Sam Little.
I do.
The boss wants to see you again, Sam.
Where? Queen's Road?
No, round at his place this time. I've got the car waiting.
No, I'm talking to this
I've got
gentleman.
the car waiting, Sam.
Yeah, OK. I'll be in Saturday night. We'll talk again then.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Listen, when
Oh,
I say I've
look
got
here,
the
Mr.
car
Dodgy.
waiting, I mean,
You've no right to
don't
come
muck about, you know.
We're about to enter phase 2 of this operation. While you guys have been out hustling tickets, you've been making a lot of money, both for yourselves and for us. But more important, at the same time, you've been making new friends, opening up new territory. This, in turn, has enabled us to build up the information contained in our files. We're ready to make use of those files. You guys are smart enough. You must have guessed that the lottery was just a front, a stepping stone, to something much bigger, much more profitable. I'm talking about outright control of the union.
But that's impossible.
Nothing's impossible if you go about it the right way. There's an average 10% turnout at the local branch meetings. The same back in the States. When I was an eager young union official, still wet behind the ears, back in Michigan, I used to sweat blood getting the guys out to the locals. This apathy gives us the in.
We know the weak links on all the branches flagged on this map. We know the heavy drinkers, the gamblers, the men who like other men's wives, And those men who've been in trouble with the police and want to forget it. That is why it is vital that the information you feed us on branch personnel should always be accurate.
Your job will be to go any place where they're holding a branch election and get it rigged before the voting even starts.
But what about head office?
Don't worry about the head office. We're going to take that over, too. The National Executive is elected by postal ballot. They've got it all planned. What's the matter, Sam?
I don't like politics.
Who's talking about politics? No one's interested in the rights of man. I'm talking about industrial extortion. The publishers of this newspaper in New York go to an employer and ask him to take out an ad costing $5,000 or $10,000, and if he refuses, bang, we hit him with a strike. It's a very persuasive argument.
And if the men don't want to go on strike?
Well, there's ways of persuading them. That's just one of the systems we'll put into operation when we take over. That will be next year's General Secretary. You guys mind going out the back way?
Yeah. I'll see the man.
See you later.
Yeah.
You know what to do?
We want him to feel committed.
I want to make quite sure when he's elected, he does what I tell him.
What we tell him.
What we tell him.
It is rum you like, isn't it?
What do you mean there's going to be changes?
You got elected by a fair ballot.
Well, I should hope so.
Because no one had any time to do any fixing.
Well, there's never been any fixing in our branch.
Not up to now, there hasn't. But there may be in the future.
Who exactly is going to fix what?
You know how some unions operate in the United States.
Better than you do, boy.
Well, the same thing's going to happen here.
Oh, marvellous. Who do you represent? Al Capone?
The fellow I represent doesn't come into that category. He's smart. He's a union man himself, or used to be. But the whole thing's worked out. And in the long run, it's going to be better for us.
Us being who?
The members of the union.
You know, it's only since I've been secretary and looked through the branch membership that I noticed you're a member of the union, Sam.
Brown, I'm dead serious. Look, I've got a message for you. You're to bring the men out on strike.
Oh, name the date.
Look, this geezer I represent, he's going to put up a proposition to works management at board level. They got to pay cash down, or we strike. Now, some of that cash can be yours, Brian. And by the look of it, you and Jean could use some.
I've always liked you, Sam. But I'm going to do something now that I've never done before in my life. Let's throw someone out of this house.
Brian, this is in your interest.
Get out.
Brian, they're tough, these people. If you're not with them, you're against them.
Yes, Sam. These people you're in with, they didn't have anything to do with Harry Walburn's death, did they?
I'm just telling you they're tough, Brian. And don't say I haven't warned you.
Is Sam gone then?
Yeah. Here, Jean. What do you think of Sam?
Well, he seems all right. Well, what's up?
I think he's going up his nut.
Sam Little has just been to see you.
Yeah, that's right.
On union business?
What's that to you, brother?
It means a lot to me, brother. If Sam Little is trying to persuade you to do something unethical, you might like to tell me about it.
Yeah, and I might not. Whatever crazy idea Sam's got in his head, I've known a damn sight longer than I've known you, mate. Getting a job at the works and joining the union. It was a cover for something, wasn't it?
To protect you. If you do decide to tell me what Sam Little's up to, you can reach me either at Shop 4 or at my office. Think it over. Oh, don't worry, I can see myself out.
Hello.
Right. It's for you.
Yeah, who is it?
It's Sam. I've just been to see Winters. He threw me out. He wouldn't hardly listen to me.
Then we'll just have to teach him a lesson.
No, wait. Give me till tomorrow to try again.
I'll give you till 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Then we get persuasive.
Hello, matey. What are you doing here this time of night?
My homework.
You've been living it up all day, eh?
May I remind you, I'm now clocking into the works at 7:30 every morning and clocking out again at 5:30 at night. This is the only time I can get in here. Enjoy the trip to Edinburgh?
Yes, enormously. I got in some very good golf. Oh, how's the lottery business going?
Oh, not bad, not bad. I now have a great friend called Sam Little, the ticket pusher.
Bully for you.
Someone in my presence tonight told Sam that the boss wanted to see him, and Sam mentioned Queen's Road, and that is my one small fragmentary lead.
Well, the boss and Queen's Road, what more do you want?
Oh, I thought I could find out where these things are printed.
Well, they're printed, why?
Printers? Give me the trade directory.
Oh.
These lottery tickets only carry the phony name and address of a phony sports club that's supposed to be registered with a local authority that has, in fact, never heard of them. No one seems to know who runs the racket or where these tickets come from.
Well, there's no name of printer, but of course that isn't required by law anyway.
Well, on top of that, I think there's something much more sinister going on.
Well, then our main job is... your main job is to locate the source of supply.
Then Queen's Road must have some significance.
That's probably where the boss lives.
No, the other man said it wasn't.
Oh, Bob, what other man?
The other man who came to the man who sells the tickets. So forget about it. The point is that Queen's Road might have something in it that could be a cover for the lottery.
Yeah?
Here, what about this one? Thomas Oxbury and Son, established 1908, all office stationery, raffle books a speciality, 92 Queen's Road, EC2.
That looks like your lead.
Well, it's worth investigating.
Yeah, well, I'd better come with you. With your methods, I know exactly what that means.
Oh, it'll be all right. I'll join the Burglars Union.
Check it, sir.
Yeah. I didn't agree with you.
Can you spare us a moment? I don't buy any lottery ticket.
No, Brian, it's about the other thing.
I told you where you could stuff that idea, Sam.
Brian, this is serious.
So am I.
I thought you were going to be all night. We've still got time to get to the pictures if you do without a drink.
Oh, I've just got one more thing to do. I've got to take some raffle, what's it? Voting papers and Ron Dyson.
I'll come with you.
No, you stay here. Only be 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes. I better be half an hour. When he gets talking, makes you wonder who's married to, me or the union.
There you are, bang on target. Who said we hadn't a right to break in here?
Well, justification, perhaps. Hardly a right.
Let's have some up. What's this? Here. Union voting papers. Yes, for the National Executive, too. But these people are not the union's printers. Here, look. Reply paid envelopes. Have some of those.
all those, now you've got them.
Well, tell the union's head office what we found, of course.
Yes, but I've been thinking about that. These are national ballot papers, and I think it's safe to say that they're forgeries.
Well, just put me in the picture. These names here...
Well, the top 4, they're all candidates for the post of General Secretary, which automatically becomes vacant with the annual conference next week. Betcherman, he's General Secretary now. Arbert, he's one of the full-time organisers and one of the unsuccessful candidates of 5 years ago. The other 2, Duncan and Poole, I don't know.
What about these names in smaller print?
They're candidates for the National Executive. But if there's some attempt to rig the ballot, it must be going on inside the union's headquarters, because that's where the balloting is organised.
Well, someone there will have to be told.
Well, I don't know who we can trust. It could be any of these 4 candidates.
What's the reply paid envelope for?
For the members to send in their votes.
Thanks.
I've been reading the union's rules.
Yeah?
A certain number of ballot papers are sent to each branch secretary, and he distributes them to his members.
Well, what's to stop him keeping back a few so as to have more votes for himself?
Well, the members have to sign for them, and it's all later checked at headquarters.
Well, that's foolproof enough. What then?
Well, this particular union issues a reply-paid envelope with every ballot paper.
Ah, so bypassing the branch secretary.
It's even better than that. To avoid any gerrymandering at headquarters, the reply-paid envelope is addressed to a post office box number. When the time comes to collect the ballot, the scrutineers are given a box authority card and personally collect all the returns from the post office.
Yeah, but who are the scrutineers?
They're all retired men, veterans of the union, completely trustworthy.
Well, I think it's fiddle-proof.
It is.
Do you know, I've just thought of something.
I'm breathless to hear.
Well, wouldn't it be funny if they made a printer's error on the reply-paid envelope? And all the post office box numbers got sent to all the ballots got sent to the wrong post box number.
You're sure you haven't seen him before?
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't sure. What I said, what I meant was I didn't recognise them.
Maybe these are the same 2 guys investigating the lottery.
Well, who are these guys, anyway?
They're a firm of security agents appointed by the Treasurer to look into lotteries.
Suter and Shoesmith.
That's right.
Give them the address.
Thanks.
Donnie, go look them over.
Right. Right.
How's young Brian Winters getting along?
I don't know. Why?
His area is a particularly juicy plum. It contains at least 3 major factories, all very profitable. Threaten them with a strike, they'll pay through the nose.
Now, look, you'll get nowhere with Winters. He's straight.
When you were here last night, Dottie went to see Winters.
What did he do to Winters?
Don't be squeamish, Stan. It's a tough business in a tough world. In the final analysis, the only thing that people understand is terror. I learned that the hard way back in Detroit.
What happened to Winters?
I understand he's taking a few days off work. Why don't you go see him?
As Union's national organizer, no one would question a visit from you.
Now, look, I don't want anything to do with this.
Stanley, you're as guilty as any.
Now, look, I've never laid a hand on anyone. We just don't do things like that over here.
I don't think Hitler ever laid a hand on anyone.
Now, look, I'm sorry. I just don't want anything to do with this.
So don't. It'll cost you 100,000 votes in tomorrow's election.
All we want to know is if he changed his mind. It makes a difference to our filing system.
All right. What do you want me to do?
To the new General Secretary.
What happened to your leg?
Oh, I sprained it when I fell over. Doc told me to keep it up.
Did the doctor want to know how it happened?
I told him I was in a fight.
What did the police have to say?
Oh, it's nothing to do with them.
You mean you didn't report it?
What can they do? Bit of a punch-up.
Yeah, but some people might think differently.
How did you get to hear about it anyway?
I was on the phone to your branch treasurer. He mentioned it.
Oh.
You don't mind me calling in like this, Brian? I mean, you don't think I'm tired for votes or anything?
No, you're welcome any time, Stan.
Thanks.
It's just odd, you hearing about it, that's all.
Well, that's how I heard it, mate. You're quite sure you don't know who it was?
No. Well, what's it to you, anyway?
Well, I mean, it's to do with the union. It's to do with me, isn't it?
Yeah, well, even with a national ballot on hand, we don't take union affairs to the point of punch-ups, do we?
Yeah, I know that, but I understand knuckle dusters was used. Is that correct?
You know an awful lot.
Yeah, well, look, I'll come straight with you, Brian. There have been several attempts to intimidate some of our branch secretaries.
Oh, I see.
Well, it may be that, or it may be a personal matter.
Yeah, maybe.
But would you like to tell me if it was, Brian?
Look, I'll put it this way, Stan. Whatever that punch-up was about, I'm not going to get involved like that again.
I say. You mean you're selling out, eh?
Who said anything about selling out? But there's ways of playing it clever, aren't there?
And that in the future is what you intend to do, eh?
Look, I'll take you one step further, Stanley, then I shut my mouth. The wife's been threatened, too.
I see. Well, there's nothing more I can say, is there, Brian?
No, not really.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you change your mind, won't you?
Oh, I won't. You can see yourself out, can you?
Yeah, sure. Say goodbye to Jean for me, won't you?
Sure thing.
Yeah. You know, in a way, Brian, I can understand how you feel.
Are you listening?
Yeah. I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's just like Shoesmith said. They'd have to send somebody along to see if I was going to cause trouble or whether I was willing to play it their way.
Yes, but Stanley Arbut of all people.
Well, makes you see what the tall puddle martyrs are up against now, doesn't it?
I'm going to phone Shoesmith.
No, you're not. You stay there. And don't let anyone in until I get back, right?
You take that.
Billy, the door.
All right.
Yes. Yes. All right, Brian. Yes, I've got that. Right, goodbye. Well, have they taken anything?
It's just the trouble, I don't know.
You know, this could be a warning from the lottery people. They've already threatened Brian Winters and his wife.
No. How awful.
This means that we've scared them. When a crook's scared, he'll make mistakes.
That was not part of the arrangement, Victor.
She's all right with Stanley Arbut.
That was part of the arrangement.
Hello, Dottie.
Oh.
Did you get anything?
Only stuff on the lottery. There was that file with the name of the union on it, but it only had stuff about the lottery, nothing about the voting.
Good. Dottie, I've been working on your next assignment.
Right.
Seems like you did a pretty good job on Brian Winters. He's practically one of us now.
Thanks.
These are his instructions.
Right.
I'll make sure you get him back. They could be evidence.
Right.
He's to instigate a strike starting Monday.
Yeah. What about these others?
Those are the other London branches.
Right.
Are these all for next week?
Yeah, why?
Well, now, don't you think we're jumping the gun just a little? We haven't even elected the General Secretary yet.
Dottie, the postal ballots go out?
Yeah, sure.
Then Stanley Arbut's elected.
Well, I'm afraid we've drawn a blank with this lottery business.
I see. Then we've spent our members' money for nothing, George. Now, I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Thomas, it's great to see you again.
Nice to see you, too.
Do you know George Holding here?
How are you?
This is a visitor, Mr. Shoesmith, Thomas Green.
I do.
More
How do you do?
hunger marches than you've had off dinners. Chairman of our scrutineers these days. Well, I'll get the authority card.
Well, we miss you on the executive, Thomas, but it's best you take life easy these days.
Oh,
There you
yes,
are.
it is, yes. Oh, yes.
And after you lads have counted the votes, we must all go out together and have a pint.
Excuse me.
idea.
Could I see that authority card?
Mr. Shoesmith, you might not realize it, but this is rather an important occasion for us. Brother, I mean Mr. Green, being with us and so on.
It's important that Brother Green collects the right ballot from the post office box, isn't it?
Now, look, I don't know what business is of yours, but I handle the ballot, and we haven't got much time, so if you don't mind...
If you don't mind, I'll see that authority card. This card relates to post office box number 126. So does this reply paid envelope.
Where'd you get one of our envelopes?
It's not one of yours. It's a forgery. How many post office box numbers do you run, Mr. Holding?
Well, let's see. There must be 4 or 5 for different sorts of elections.
You run 5 post office box numbers, numbers 121 to 125 inclusive. You're using box number 125 for your national elections. And I understand that that ballot was cleared an hour ago by Brother Arbert. The ballot which Brother Thomas would have collected with this card is a forgery.
Then who owns box number 126? Or should I know that already? I think you and I had better have a little chat, Stanley.
With your permission, I should like Mr. Arbert to accompany me somewhere else first.
Didn't they ever teach you on the other side of the tracks that patience is a virtue?
Yeah, play it cool.
Well, either a thing is going to happen or it's not. And when you've done everything you can to make it happen, as we have, then worrying about it is a waste of time and energy.
Philosophy yet. Get the door.
McMasters, that man who was killed, Harry Warburn. The police are going to charge you with his murder.
You know, that's ridiculous. I didn't even know him.
Mr. Arbert has told us about your operations here, and I understand that Miss Meadows is now willing to cooperate too.
Yes,
You lousy little whore.
but then you never thought I was anything else, did you? And that's much better than being a murderer.
Mr. Holding.
I want to call my lawyer.
Post office box number 125. This is the genuine vote.
Right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mr. Winters, could I have a word with you?
What this time?
Outside.
Afraid of an audience, are you?
Not as far as you're concerned.
All yours, officer.
It's all right, love.